Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to Star Wars Lads. We've got another reaction for you all. This is our third one in the last couple weeks, but it's awesome to be getting a lot of Star Wars trailers out recently. And this one is for Star Wars Outlaws, which has gotten very little talk since last year, almost a year ago, when it was first announced and they dropped that first trailer. Haven't heard much about this game, but they announced a few days ago they're going to do a full story trailer right now today. So we're going to watch it for you all and give you our reaction, talk a little bit about what we see here, talk a bit about the era and the characters and all this stuff that's set up here. So without further ado, let's just get into the trailer and let's see what Ubisoft has cooking for us today.
Can't
Each of you
Okay.
represents some of the most powerful criminal organizations in the galaxy. Pikes, Crimson Dawn, Hutts. It's a golden age for the underworld. The Empire controls every corner of the galaxy, but they're distracted by a rebellion that won't quit. It's an opportunity to make millions.
Our protagonist, okay.
Hey, Vess. The underworld's favorite new scoundrel. We meet at last.
She's supposed to be our favorite new scoundrel now too, I guess.
Zarek Besh. They're new, rich, and lethal. You crossed their boss Sliro, and now he wants you gone.
Inciting
Rob his
act
fortune and buy your freedom.
This job, it's
Oh,
a
nice,
death
yeah.
wish. I'm in.
Out here, you live and die by your
That bot too?
reputation.
Might be.
You want to survive? Know the players.
You're new to this world.
What's your problem?
Come back when you're not.
You're gonna have to kind of level up.
Jabba, right?
Okay.
Look,
Jabba
don't
looks
try
great.
anything. I got a whole crew surrounding the... I'm kidding, we're skipping that part. For about as long as I can remember, it's just been me and Nix. Doing what we have to survive. This job is my one shot at freedom. But if we're gonna pull this
Kind of
off,
classic
we
Ubisoft
need the
style.
right crew.
Climbing
The
and
right ship.
jumping around buildings.
So
She'll
is
probably
she like
have
stealing
Unreal,
the ship?
Oh, maybe. She'll probably have Unreal upper body strength,
Because
like
you're
all
one of the
Ubisoft
best
characters.
hunters in the Outer Rim.
She's more connected than you let on, Sliro. Bess is mixed up in something bigger.
The Outer Rim is a dangerous place. Everyone is fighting for their piece of the galaxy. But all I want is to live free. So I'm gonna risk it all.
Oh,
Well, Sarlacc
pretty cool
action.
shot.
Okay.
Great Dragon.
Star Wars Outlaws pre-order available now.
August
Alright.
30th, okay. Yeah.
So we've got initial reaction to that. I think about what I was expecting. It didn't show much. I want to go back here because I think this was probably the most exciting part of the trailer when you see all the criminals. So this is a between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi story, right?
Right.
And we know we have War of the Bounty Hunters right in this era as well. How does this connect with that? We already see Han is basically in looks like he's in Jabba's palace already. So it seems like that's wrapped up. And it's cool to see Crimson Dawn. I think that was the big the big thing for me. Was like, okay, I can't wait to see more of that. Will Kira be in the game? At first I thought maybe that was Kira. I can't tell. I don't think it is.
Yeah, it looks like some agent, not necessarily the head honcho, especially with how Hidden Empire ends, right? You gotta be a little careful with her. If this
Right.
is supposedly after the events of that whole 3-pack of comic series.
Deathstick would be a cool person to see in the story as like a boss. You know, that would be a cool boss, or somebody that you have to fight often. So I think initial reaction is this trailer didn't do much for me personally to get me more hyped than I was. I'm excited for open world Star Wars, and I think the thing this trailer did, even though it's not a gameplay trailer, is it showed so many different locations that it's pretty exciting to be able to planet hop, fly your ship to different places, and be able to kind of explore different environments where like Survivor had a really nice start to kind of the open world style Star Wars while still being mostly linear, but having some replayability in the collecting path of the game. But this looks to be, another step beyond that. You're gonna be able to explore the wastelands, the cities, the different locations, some classic locations like Tatooine, because we see Jabba's palace here, but as well as some new planets. I wanted to scroll back to that as well and see if that was Batu. As somebody who games a lot and has played a lot of Ubisoft games, I have been a little concerned that this is just traditional Ubisoft game, but with Star Wars skin. I think that will be really fun for the first 10, 12, 15 hours. But how much do I want to invest in playing a game like this if it is just the typical kind of collectathon side mission Ubisoft style? Like I really want to see that Star Wars injected in it, and it looks good. Like they have all the environment, they have the characters, they have the different creatures and droids and robots and all that type of stuff around. It's just that I was hoping from this trailer, I think, to get a bit more of that injection of like, this is exactly where it feels like it fits perfectly into the Star Wars narrative, and I just kind of got like a bounty hunter game with a new character because we couldn't use like Boba Fett or something.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. Can we scroll back to where we first see Han frozen carbonite? 'Cause see that
Yes,
does look like Batu
I
there.
I think it is.
That really does look like it. Yeah, I think it is Jabba's palace, right? Probably the scene where she first walks in, and then she's kind of pushed in front of Jabba before she can make her whole fake threats and everything, right? But it would be really interesting to me if it were like in the inciting part of War of the Bounty Hunters, where like her
Sure, yeah.
story kind of intersects when it's like traveling between hands and all that. I don't think it ever really stopped in a person's building per se, but it was definitely in motion again with the Crimson Dawn agent, with the Pikes and everything. You'd have to bring in Kira, and I don't think this is necessarily a place to tell Kira's story again, right? What's been going on with her in the comics and all that. But yeah, and I mean, you're right. Like they haven't really shown us. I guess the only real thing they've said is like you've crossed someone, and you got to make it right, and that's how you'll be able to survive. And then kind of hinted that she kind of steals that ship. That's not exactly something that she's in possession of at the start of the game. So there's that. I admit that it's not too much more than that. I guess it's that new villain of sorts looks like he could be central to Canto Bite. I don't know. Yeah. Other than that, we don't know anything. We don't really know why the event is bigger for her. We have that one new associate that's like, you didn't tell me. Like she's so well connected, right? Which
Mhm.
I'm assuming it's not necessarily that she's connected to anything per se, but it's because of whatever is like pulling her into that grander story. Now everyone knows her or wants to know her or is trying to kill her. So that makes it a little harder for other people to simply knock her out like they originally intended to.
Right. Yeah, I think it's going to be an evolution of the plot as the player, right? You're going to do jobs for Jabba, you're going to do jobs for each person and kind of slowly work your way up. This is our first real bounty hunters game we've gotten since like Jango Fett Bounty Hunter. And so I was kind of hoping for like we see you get to do a mission with Boba Fett, you get to do a mission with maybe Embo or Dengar or Bosk or some bounty hunters that we've seen before, just kind of make this feel like it's part of the galaxy instead of being traditional canon style storytelling of like we don't know what we want to do with these other characters, so for now we're just gonna have you make a new one, and then this character will kind of come out of nowhere and be also very important, but nobody's ever heard of her before. Like that as like a canon person, as like a story person, it always bothers me when they go with new character and then just kind of make them secular and then be like, actually, now that you guys like this story, now we're gonna make them actually part of the universe and trying to
Yeah.
retroactively do it. I would have like if you're gonna straight up work with Jabba, I'd love to see Boba Fett. And maybe I'm sure he's in the game. I'm sure they're hiding some of that stuff because they want there to be reveals, but like I was hoping for a bit more of the actual meat of this story, and this to me was just like, yeah, you're going on bounty hunter missions, and there's Jabba and there's other guys, but but there wasn't much in here that got me more hyped than before. What do you think? As the last wrap up, Sonic, what do you think? Did this trailer get you more excited than you were before?
I think I'm mostly on the same page. I think what excited me is we saw a little bit more of the locations, and I think this
Yeah.
game is promising to deliver on like very diverse Star Wars experiences, especially kind of the sameness that comes with watching a lot of the live action shows. Uh, Other than that, I'd say it's really been Bad Batch and Jedi Survivor that have like really pushed us to be like, okay, these are what new biomes and everything can look like, but not
Mhm.
that's not really exactly as grounded or realistic just by the nature of a clone animation story and a superpowered Jedi who's got like a very specific system that he's gonna kind of stay in. This one promises to be a mix of old and new. If it is Batu, I'd love to finally see like the emphasis on the outer rim line there. It
Yeah.
really kind of speaks to me that maybe we're going to see remnants of different eras, right? And especially with Acolyte and everything coming out, I would not be surprised if we see some like High Republic vestige, just like we saw in a pretty crucial part of Jedi Survivor. So I'd love to see things that are like left behind, things from like Trade Federation and all that. So
Mhm.
there's a lot of implications that we're gonna see a lot of the things that were introduced in the movies, introduced in the games, introduced in the shows, and how they actually coexist to some degree in a real galaxy as opposed to just being cornered off. So in that sense,
Right.
I'm excited. Not much more. I still think like the gameplay preview that they showed gave me a little bit more of the
Yeah.
story and a little bit more of what I wanted from the game trailers. But
Right.
as it is right now, I mean, I'm enjoying the humor. I'm enjoying the visuals.
To follow up on that and one last point, I think the gameplay will carry this game. And so no matter what, I wasn't expecting some type of revolutionary, groundbreaking story. I think I got a little bit more excited for the possibility of this being an awesome story when they announced we're doing a story trailer, like, and we're hyping it up. We're letting you know like 4 days before. I thought, okay, man, there's gonna be something awesome here, and it was fine. But I think the gameplay is what's going to be carrying this because we haven't played a Star Wars game like this before. We haven't played a truly open world Star Wars game. We haven't played a game where you can go from ground to ship to space in the same, fell swoop and actually control the ground combat and the ship combat. Like if they nail the gameplay with this, it doesn't matter really what the story is. It can be the most cookie cutter story ever, and it will still probably be amongst, the top 20 Star Wars games of all time because we don't have that many with incredible gameplay. Star Wars games have often leaned more towards story than gameplay innovation, outside of obviously a handful of very classic games. So, if this is awesome from a gameplay standpoint, unless the story is completely, canon breaking and really dumb, then I think it'll be enjoyable, but they have to find that right balance. So hopefully we get all that. Let us know what you think down below. Did you hate this trailer? Did you like this trailer? Are you excited for Outlaws? Is this a game that you were looking forward to now more after this trailer than you were before? Let us know in the comments. And of course, like the video, helps us out a lot. Subscribe to the channel for more Star Wars content like this. So thanks everybody for watching. We will see you all next time.